So Luka Doncic is obviously a Laker. And I'm sorry, this whole smear campaign of Luka Doncic is getting ridiculous now because he's now starting to play well for the Lakers while street clothes is in street clothes. Like, he's starting to play well for the Lakers while his replacement for the Lakers that they signed because they're worried about his health is currently, again, in street clothes. So no, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it when it comes to Luka Doncic right now. Like, Luka Doncic, as of this point in time, you just never know. It might change, but at this point in time, Luka Doncic has won the breakup. No question about it. Luka has won the breakup. And the smear campaign will not stop. Like, this is literally like I don't even understand what's going on from the Dallas Mavericks. So, first of all, Brian Windhorst, who seems to be the spearheading in the media, the Luka Doncic, you know, out of, not out of shape, the anti-Luka Doncic thing, the smear campaign, he seems to be spearheading it, and I want to stand by this when it comes to Brian Windhorst, I'm sorry, I understand, obviously, not having to be the best basketball player, but, for someone who keeps talking about the weight of Luka Doncic, it probably isn't an ideal situation. But, to be like Brian Windhorst is, and yeah, I'm probably not the best person to talk about that either, but I'm not one to talk about that. But 6 months time, lads. 6 months time. I finally got my Achilles right. I finally figured out what's wrong with my freaking lung. 6 months time. Not going to be in great shape, but being better than right now. But let's take a listen to Brian Windhorst.
Slovenian music comes on, it means Luka's coming out for the warm-up. It's like, here he comes. He did this in Dallas. So Nico's out there in his spot. Music comes off. Here comes the Slovenian music. Here comes Luka. Now everyone's watching. What's going on? They get within what, McMahon? 15, 20 feet of each other?
Yeah, and I'd say this. There was never any eye contact.
Yeah, but Luka is... No, wait a minute. You can't give credit for Luka throwing a pass behind his head, not even looking.
Oh, he's got the vision. He knows exactly where he is.
Yeah.
And the lack of eye contact was completely intentional. And honestly, it was a continuation of what happened between those two guys.
And, whatever, again, about that... I don't even mind this too much. It's this coming out on his birthday. Nico Harrison reached out to the Timberwolves involving Luka Doncic for Anthony Edwards, but it's rejected. Of course it was rejected. Because they weren't allowed to contact Luka's agent. Of course they would. I'm sorry. Whatever about AD. If you're not allowed to contact Luka's agent, why the hell would you give up Anthony Edwards? Whatever about AD. Whatever about AD. And now you're seeing Mavs fans coming out saying they're like, Anthony Davis was treated worse by the Lakers than Luka was by the Mavs. I'm like, all the Lakers did was take an obvious trade. All they did was trade near 32-year-olds, someone 6 years older who has more injury issues, for a guy who just led a team to the finals. And you can say, AD helped them win a ring. Yeah, 5 years ago. Do you want to know what happened 5 years? Do you want to know 5 years before that who the best point guard in the NBA was? Freaking Chris Paul. We're 5 years removed of Darren Williams still being talked about as a potential all-star? That's how much 5 years can do. 5 years, by the way. Do you want to know 5 years before Luka Doncic? So around the time AD won a ring, we were talking about Blake Griffin's resurgence as a shooting all-NBA player. That was basically a conversation the last time Anthony Davis won a ring. So, Anthony Davis won a ring. But it's obviously, Timberwolves league sources say we're stunned that Dallas were contemplating parting ways with Luka Doncic. First of all, you want to trade Luka for anyone named Anthony. Real Madrid, is Anthony Randolph still there? I assume not. He's long gone. He was there when Rick and Luka was there. But, yeah, find someone named Anthony. Miami Heat, can you get a time machine and bring back Joel Anthony? The way Timberwolves are playing, they should have pulled the trigger. Honestly, if you were guaranteed a long-term commitment from Luka Doncic, they would have pulled the trigger. But they weren't allowed to let this news come out there. So why would they? Of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't when they don't know what's wrong with Luka. Like, if you get offered that, you're thinking, what is wrong with Luka? And obviously the relationship between Pelinka and Nico Harrison was there for something. And for all the people saying, oh yeah, this is this Luka got sent to the Mavs because they want just for to help the NBA's ratings, to boost the NBA's ratings. No, of course not. Of course that's not the case. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have had a month-long smear campaign. It is the 1st of March. I'm pretty sure this trade was made on the night of the 1st of February. Sorry, it's the 28th of February. It's like 2 a.m. my time. I'm just kind of wired, so I'm awake. Hence why if you're looking at my 2K channel, I'm posting 2K. I'm just wired, I'm awake, so why not? My sleep pattern's really been messed up. I'm back on America time, which it is what it is. And yeah, it's like we're even listening to a month-long freaking smear campaign. And this gets released on his damn birthday. Luka Doncic, happy birthday. Happy 26th birthday for Luka Doncic. And Anthony Edwards in about 10 days. Happy 32nd birthday. 6 years in the difference. And they could not have done, have made things worse. Like, just what they're doing, what the Mavs are doing is pathetic. And we can be honest here. What the Mavs are doing is absolutely pathetic. Pathetic's the only word I can use to describe the Dallas Mavericks right now. Like, they are the most pathetic franchise in basketball, and it's not stopping. It's actually not stopping. Like, I wish that they had just said, you know what, if they just stayed silent. Like, they could have stopped this. Instead of all this trying to smear Luka, they literally could have stopped this entire thing by saying, like, in that first press conference, instead of all these like buzzwords, defense wins championship, and trying to smear Luka Doncic and trade him for literally any star. Like, I'm telling you, like, if the Lakers said no, they probably would have went to freaking New York and said, give us Brunson back and we'll give you Luka. Like, they were probably that desperate to get off Luka Doncic. They probably could have sent Luka, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a team they could have freaking sent Luka to. What type of player? They could have went to Orlando, give us Franz, and we'll take Luka. Actually, no, he just doesn't like Europeans. Give us Paolo, and we'll give you Luka and a pick for Paolo. Like, it would have been one of those type of trades. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting thing. But yeah, it's mad. It's mad, and it's just, oh my god, did I just click home I just clicked home into notifications. I'm sorry about that being on screen, but it's just mad. It's mad what has happened with Luka Doncic, and all of this in a big smear campaign from a GM who is borderline incompetent, who thinks just because you bought low on Kyrie Irving that you're this unbelievable GM. Just because you realized that, okay, we took a risk on Derek Lively and he fit with Luka, so we'll sign older Derek Lively and Gafford. And PJ Washington, again, you bought low on PJ Washington because, yeah, you were able to buy low on PJ Washington because he played for the Hornets. And you bought low on Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving nearly caused a damn boycott in the NBA. Like, nearly caused a disaster in the NBA a few months earlier. You got lucky and bought low on a few teams, on a few players, because Mark Cuban was willing to, like, especially in the Kyrie, when he was willing to, like, take Kyrie, whereas a lot of teams wouldn't, no matter what GM thing you wanted to do. So yeah, like, you made a couple of good GM decisions, and all this could have been stopped by just saying, our goal is to win a championship in the next 3 years, and we felt that bringing in a player like Anthony Davis helped our team in the short term, as we don't believe that Luka Doncic, as we felt that Luka Doncic's and Kyrie Irving's skill sets beside each other didn't complement, or Luka Doncic didn't complement Kyrie's skill set or something, and we believe that AD and Kyrie is going to be a championship team. It could have ended right there, and people actually could have, like, there could be some freaking logic to that. And even though people call you dumb, it at least has some logic. But this whole smear campaign, this defense wins championships, this blaming Luka for everything, when from everything, everyone his teammates loved him. His teammates loved him. So for me, it's like, they loved him. So why are you going out of your way to smear a player that your teammates like, that the team liked, just based on your own ego? Either way, it's madness. Madness is the only word that I can use to describe this situation. But anyway, see you guys.